Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel once again, and this is going to be another tier list. So, we are wrapping up at least the main roster when it comes to our championship designs, and I figured, let's save these ones for last. Not sure why, but I just figured. But it's time to look at the tag team championships. Now, originally, I was going to hold off on this list because apparently we're supposed to be getting some new designs on the way. But unfortunately, we still haven't gotten new tag team title designs. So I decided I would just go for it. If we do get new tag title designs, first of all, they might look the same as the other ones, but also I'll probably talk about them, or at least mention them. I can at least bring up the idea. Apparently, the rumor is that they're supposed to look like the ones we have today, except one's supposed to be one red strap and then one blue strap, and the other's supposed to be two black straps when it comes to those. But nevertheless, because we don't have those yet, we're not going to rank them on the list. But we still have quite a few here, as you can see, a long list of tag team championships, and interesting history with some of these titles. And then we have our tiers here. So in our top tier, we have two are better than one. That means it's a fantastic title design, very good-looking title design. Then we have A tier, meaning it's really good, maybe not the top tier, but still really good. B tier is kind of the middle ground, not great, not horrible, but good or okay. C tier is kind of that, like, meh or eh. One or two things keeping it from the bottom. It's redeemed by one or two things. And then going solo, that means no more tag teams. Throw these tag teams in the trash and just go off solo, like a lot of former tag team champions have done. But the thing is, of course, I do love me some tag team wrestling. Even when WWE seems to not care about the tag team division, and we're kind of in that phase right now, at least on Raw, where it seems like the tag team division is starting to heat up, especially with the introduction of the Creed brothers and the reunion of DIY. But otherwise, tag team wrestling in WWE has had a very interesting history. But nevertheless, let's get right into it. So, starting with this first design, and of course, remember, these are all my opinions, so if you disagree with any of these, that is completely fine. But, nevertheless, we have the WWF Tag Team Championships, the first ones, and as you can see by this design here, I know it's a little hard to see, but just from looking at it, it looks a little on the basic side, I'm not gonna lie, like, just a solid gold color, and it looks like some jewels and stuff, and an inscription on the faceplate. Unfortunately, this was really the only picture I could really find. I'm gonna say this right off the bat as well, finding not only the designs for these titles, but the lineage and how many titles there were, was definitely harder than it had any right to be. I didn't have anywhere near this much trouble when I looked for the mid-card championships, or the world championships, or even the women's championships. And mostly because some of those I knew off the top of my head, but finding these were pretty difficult. But as for this design, don't know if I'm the biggest fan of it. I know it was kind of the design back then, and yeah, it's a little on the small side, and it looks a little clunky, but I do kind of have to grade on a curve because it was kind of the style back then. But I think this one, I don't know if I absolutely hate it, so I think I'll at least put it in C. So we're starting off with C for that one. But then next up is the WWF United States Tag Team Championships. There was these championships, and then I believe these were the championships that they had. I think this was at the point where the WWF had just split from the NWA. So now really going on their own, and then these were introduced as well. These I'm not the biggest fan of either. At least this one looks gold, or actually looks somewhat appealing. This one I'm not the biggest fan of, like that front plate, and then kind of I call it like a sheriff's badge or something, and or like a police badge on there, and then this design, and it says United States Champions, which is nice, and I'm guessing, I think that's the White House on there. It's a little tricky to see. So sorry for a lot of these, they are going to be kind of tricky to see. I do apologize, but then we do have this strap here. This one I don't like nearly as much as this one, and this one I didn't really like. This one I like even less. So unfortunately, I was able to spare this first one, but I cannot do it for this other one. So this one's going in. This one's going in, going solo. Not a great design, and yeah, that was kind of the style at the time. That's how a lot of the championships looked back then. If you've been following my championship rankings, if you haven't, what are you waiting for? Go check out my other championship rankings. But not the biggest fan of it. But then next up is the WWF International Tag Team Championships. So I think this was introduced for where we are on the timeline. I tried to keep these as much in the timeline order as I could, but I think this was right after. I think these were the titles that were introduced right after the WWF became just the WWF, where it changed ownerships from Vincent J. McMahon to his son Vincent K. McMahon. But this design is not horrible. I do like the silver backing. It's got a nice, hefty looking strap. The strap looks a lot better than this one. It's got the gold and silver throughout. Not really a whole lot of the thing is like having the metallic like colors like the gold and silver is fine, but you also kind of want some of that other color as well. It's like offset it and sometimes make it pop a little more. And this sadly doesn't really have it, but it looks a lot better than these ones. So I don't hate it. I do like the big eagle design there, and then the globe there, and then these side plates here aren't that bad. As compared to the other ones, it's a lot better. But I think I could probably at least put it in. I'll at least put it in B. For that title, I think it's not great, but it's not absolutely horrendous. Then next up is the WWF World Tag Team Championships. So we are going out of timeline order a little bit. I apologize, but as for these designs, they kind of look similar to some of the other designs we've seen for the other championships. I believe it was for the World Championship. A lot of their belts looked, similar. So, in other words, the more things change, the more they stay the same. At least in WWE, but I did not mean to do that there. But as for the titles here, they don't look bad. It's got the centerpiece, and it's got the globe there. It's got the eagle, and it's got the eagle there as well. With I believe those are supposed to be arrows, and then it's got this design here with the crown and stuff, and it's got the blue strap, which I don't hate. So these ones, I think I'll at least put these in B as well. Again, not absolutely horrid like the other ones, but I think not really the best. But then next up is the 1980 WWF Tag Team Championships. I believe these were actually the first one that were introduced when the WWF became just the WWF, where they lost the W essentially. But as you can see, they're around the shoulders of I believe these are the head shrinkers. But nevertheless, as being able to see them here, here's got the strap, and it's got the centerpiece. Skinny strap is back here, kind of similar to the other ones. And it's got this design here, not bad, not really a bad look. There's quite a bit going on, but it does look a little bit strange. And so I don't think I quite have disdain for them like the other ones, but but I don't think it's above a B. I think B is probably the best I can give it, so we'll put it in B there. But then next up is the 1985 WWF Tag Team Championships, and this one's not bad. It's got it's got a nice hefty design, which I like. If you haven't be able to notice, I do kind of like the heftier, like strap designs, not like the skinny strap, but the strap that really looks hefty, looks decently sized. It's got like the crown and stuff there. Here, it's got the silver, it's got the gold, and it's also got the red and the glow with WWF in the center there. So I think that's pretty cool as well, as it does have quite a bit, and it's shiny. That gotta give it points there. But otherwise, I think it's still at least a B for me. So we will put it in B there. Next up, though, is the World Tag Team Championships. Yeah, this is the design I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with. It is this design for the Tag Team Championships. It's pretty much throughout, like the Attitude Era and stuff. So this actually looks pretty cool. It does kind of look weird. It kind of reminds me of like a book almost. Maybe it's kind of the way that it opens, but otherwise it does still look nice. It's got the hefty design, which I like. This is kind of a replica, you can tell by the scratch logo up there, but it's got the gold there, and it's got the all gold, and it's got the trim all around, and then it's got the side pieces there. So this one definitely is still really solid and really fantastic. So I don't know if it's top tier, but it's still really good, so I'll go with A. Then next up is the silver face version. Now I think this one is more like replica. I think this one's more, or a bit more on brand, and for WWF, where this is more the design that they use, and you can tell from the block WWF logo there. I know some people do kind of prefer this design to this one. I don't think I like this one quite as much as this one, but I think it's still really nice. It's got the silver as well. It's got the blue, and it's got the red world just like this one, and it's still got the side pieces. The only real difference is it's not gold on gold, it's silver on gold. Well, don't quite like it as much as the regular one, and maybe that might be sacrilegious on my part, but I'll take it. But I still think it looks really nice, so I think I will at least still put it in A. It's still really good looking. Then next up is the WWF Intercontinental Tag Team Championships. Yeah, this was the thing. WWE had a relationship with, I forget the other company. I think it was the UWL, if I'm not mistaken, or it might be the ULL. But nevertheless, because of that, they had the Intercontinental Tag Team Championships, which were supposed to be kind of subordinate to the regular Tag Team Championships, such as, or I think it would probably be these ones. But these were very short-lived, and we only had one set of champions. These guys. I forget their names exactly, but yeah, so I think one of them is Pero Aguayo, and I forget the name of the other one. But nevertheless, it's looking at the belt design here, which I know is a little tricky to see. Apparently this is like the only image that was had for the Intercontinental Tag Team Championships, because they're pretty hard to find. They were very short-lived in terms of like the title's lifespan, but still looks okay, I guess. It does have this design on there. The straps are kind of on the skinny side, but also a bit on the thick side, so it's got that going for it, like a medium-sized, and it's got the side plates there, and I know I don't really have a whole lot to go off on, but I don't fully hate them as opposed to the other ones, so I think at the very least I'll put it in B. But then next up is the WWE Tag Team Championships. In the wake of, I believe this is how the story goes, in the wake of the brand split, we got two sets of championships, Tag Team Championships. So this is the WWE Tag Team Championships on SmackDown, and then we got the World Tag Team Championships on Raw, but we'll get to the World Tag Team Championships in just a bit. But as to these ones, pretty much carrying over the design from this one, but like expanding upon it. It's got the blue, but it's also got a decent amount of gold. It's got the globe there. Here, this design looks really cool as well. And the blue doesn't overstay its welcome, like the more modern equivalent, which we'll get to. But yeah, these ones still look really, really nice. So these ones, I think these ones I'll still put in A. Yeah, I'll at least put them in A. But next up is the World Tag Team Championships. These ones, admittedly, I do like more than these ones. Something about it. It's got this different kind of design going on. It's got the globe there. It looks a little stretched, but maybe that's just how it looks in this image here. It's got the black as well, to help certain parts of it stand out more. And it's not like this one can go a bit heavy-handed on the blue there, but it's not enough to annoy you. But this one, it just has the red and then leaves the rest for the gold and the black to do the legwork, so it's not a total eyesore. So you know what? These ones I'll actually put in two are better than one. It's a really cool design in my opinion. But then next up is the WWE Tag Team Championships from 2010. Now, originally, these were called the Unified Tag Team Championships, so what happened was, I forget who was the first to win both titles. I believe it might have been Legacy. So they just had the two belts for a while, so teams like Legacy and Jericho and Showmiz and DX had like the unified titles where they just walked around with both titles. But then these new championships were created, and the titles were essentially unified. That being said, about the design itself, I know a lot of people don't really like it, but me, I think it's okay. Like, the thing is, the bronze, it does have some nice ideas. Like, it has the bronze, and it has like these gladiator helmets. It's got like the logos there, and it's got the black strap. It's not the greatest thing ever, but it gets at least I think gets the point across. And I know, and I think a lot of that does come down to them reusing this design, which we will see, which we will get to. But otherwise, I don't think it's that bad. I think at the very least I'll put it in B. It's better than the other ones, but not by much, so I'll at least put it in B. But then next up is the Raw Tag Team Championship. So when the brand split was reintroduced in 2016, the New Day were the champion, and they were drafted to Raw, so therefore they had the Raw Tag Team Championships, and the SmackDown Tag Team Championships were vacant. Somebody had to win those, and I believe the inaugural SmackDown Tag Team Champions, I think it was either the Usos or it might have been American Alpha. I forget exactly. But nevertheless, at first the New Day did just still have these ones, but then these titles were introduced, I should say. Not reintroduced, but introduced. So pretty much the same design as this, except silver and the red strap. Now, compared to the other championships, such as the Universal Championship and the Raw Women's Championship, which also had the red strap as well, where it was like predominantly red, and instead it had like the different pieces out of the colors. Like, I don't think I hated these ones as much as the other ones because the strap is predominantly red, but there is also the silver to kind of try to balance it out, and it's shiny as well. Also, it gets a few bonus points from me. So again, and just like these ones, not the greatest things in the world, I think they get the job done. They're not too flashy about it, so they'll at least go in B. But then next up, we have the SmackDown equivalent, and yep, these are pretty much the same design as these ones, except with the blue strap. Compared to these ones versus these ones, for once, I think the red strap actually complements it a bit better than the blue strap, but I think these still look okay. But it looks like, going back to what I was talking about when it comes to it, and by the way, I'll put this in B, coming back to what I was talking about with them introducing new designs, it looks like they're going to have the core of like these designs, but one's supposed to be black strap, and then the other's gonna be one red strap, one blue strap, which okay, I guess if they want to keep using it. Like, thing is, it's not a horrible design. It's just not really too. It's kind of bare bones. Like it fills the bare necessities, but that's really about it. And to be honest, I can't hate it for that. Like that'd be kind of unfair, at least for me. But then last, but certainly not least, is the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, which sadly haven't always been booked the best. But we're not here to talk about how these titles have been booked. We're just here to evaluate the design. And the design, on one hand, it does have potential. There's quite a bit going on. It's got the lettering and stuff here. Here it's got the side plates as well, which is cool. But the thing is, like, gold on silver is kind of a risk. We've seen it before with championships such as this one or this one, but it almost goes into eyesore territory. But it still, I think, looks really nice. It still has really cool designs. I just wish it was kind of a different color. It does have the white strap. All the women's titles have the white strap, so I can't fault it for that. But otherwise, yeah. But I think still the design definitely does save it, but the color does kind of drag it down a bit. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna go into like C or even the bottoms here, but I will at least go in B. I think B is probably the most I can give it. But here you have it. So to recap, in 2 are better than 1, we have the WWE World Tag Team Championships. In A tier, we have the World Tag Team Championships, the Silverface World Tag Team Championships, and the WWE Tag Team Championships. In B tier, we have the WWF International Tag Team Championships, the WWF World Tag Team Championships, the WWF Tag Team Championships, both 1980 and 1985, the WWF Intercontinental Tag Team Championships, the 2010 version of the WWE Tag Team Championships, the Raw Tag Team Championships, the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, and the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. And C tier, we have the WWF Tag Team Championships, and then in going solo, we have the WWF United States Tag Team Championships. So here you have it. That's going to do it for this list. So we have one more pit stop, and that is looking at the NXT Tag Team. Not just the NXT Tag Team Championships, but all the championships across NXT and their history. And because there's only a small amount of them, I'll go ahead and throw in the stuff from NXT UK as well. Still waiting on the NXT Europe Triple H. We're still waiting on that NXT Europe that we're supposed to get. Although I wonder what they'll do with it now that Will Ospreay has signed with AEW, because apparently Will Ospreay was supposed to be like the face of that brand, but since he's going to AEW, I guess they'll have to find a different face for that brand. But yeah, so that will be our next tier list, and that'll probably be the last tier list we'll do for the year, and then and obviously next year we'll have plenty of tier lists, I'm sure. And let me know in the comments. Well, first of all, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video, so you can see as it drops. But also, let me know in the comments below that you want to see me tackle the other championships from other companies. So, I've so far done the ones from WWE and AEW as well, so go check those out. But I was also thinking about doing other companies such as WCW or ECW or Ring of Honor or TNA, or even perhaps New Japan. So, if you want me to do championship rankings for those, please let me know in the comments. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.